the salaries work. We might need one of you to run in here and change the cameras so that we can see our subjects.
That's right. We're going to have to do all of this on the fly.
We can do a herky-jerky camera moving.
Yeah,
here, guys.
exactly.
Mike, come on in.
What's that? Are we making the guest seats lower than ours so that we appear?
Yeah,
yes, that is one of our tactics.
You're looking very stylish, sir.
Yes. So what's new?
What's new? Well, my golf handicap is getting reasonable.
Is it?
And doing a lot of fly fishing for steelhead.
Oh, wow.
And cycling, and with a group trying to buy a team in Switzerland.
Oh, really?
So,
Why Switzerland?
Well, the hockey's really good. It's underdeveloped, and it's a great country to visit, great country to have a investment in.
I missed you in Davos this year.
Yeah, he was in
I was
Davos.
at the
He did the
Spengler this
Spengler,
year.
were you?
Yes.
Well, you saw it. And
Yeah,
the
it's
fans are incredibly passionate. And this group came to me about 2 months ago to assist them in evaluating it. And I just began to like it so much that I'm going to get involved, and we're going to see if we can do something.
Just saying your handicap's getting better
Yeah.
at your age.
Wow.
I know.
An age joke.
I know.
Wow.
Yeah. That's
Cutting.
why,
I'm the
that's why
youngest
I was
guy
so
on the
eager
deck.
to come in here and see you guys. All I can do is get
Attaboy.
criticized.
No. We went through years of that.
Well, yeah, we might as well jump right back in. Huh? It was so much fun.
Yeah, it was.
Actually, parts of it were a lot of fun.
Yeah, no. Let's not forget. Like, we had great fun there for a lot of time. There were a few times that weren't as fun.
We have to ask you because there's been I don't know how much you've kept up. There's been some drama around this Canucks team this year. Just vaguely, even if you haven't been keeping up. Would you have any advice? Not that Jim Rutherford would be calling you for advice, but just casually, how do you deal with drama? Because I think both you and Lawrence have said, if we had a second go at it, we'd address the drama a little bit differently. They are dealing with drama, and I think they've done okay with it from their messaging standpoint. Not a ton of criticism, but do you have any sort of empathy for what they're going through, given what they're dealing with this year?
Empathy? No.
Comes
Comes
with the gig, right?
One of the things
you know
we
what you
learned,
signed up for.
Yeah, was that you had to build leadership within that room. You don't presume that there's leaders. And as you guys both know, when I arrived, there was lots of criticism around Daniel and Henrik, and the team had been dominated by a few older players, and there were a lot of skeptics around whether they could be real leaders. And when we made the decision that they were going to be the leaders of the team, and we were going to stick with them, and we were going to get them signed, we tried to put in place a number of support systems for them so that they had an open door to people that could help them with perspective. And the one thing we realized, and I think we did pretty well at, was we understood when there was a problem as soon as it was happening, because the players were very open with us. And there were times where you couldn't let them try and handle it themselves. You had to get involved, and you had to participate in finding the solution. And I think in this circumstance, and I don't know a lot about it, but the one thing that appears to have happened is this has festered over an extended period of time. And, maybe you wouldn't be successful intervening, but that's what I would have done. And I'm sure these guys did things or were doing things, trying things, but I would have done everything in my power not to get it beyond a certain point. And the one thing I'm proud of that we did well was we had a really good relationship with our players. So when there was an issue, and they did come to us about different players that were an issue, and they realized that the team was the most profound thing. No one was bigger than the organization or the team. And when they came to us with a problem, they knew we would be not only empathetic in dealing with it, but deal with it. And that's how that happened on a few occasions.
Miller has a no-move clause. Probably will hamper the market for him.
You know what that's like.
Pettersson's 5 years younger, but on the bigger contract with the no move kicking in. Miller has thus far proven to be a better playoff performer. What says you with regards to if you had to make a break? And when do you know that you just can't go forward with two personalities that don't that clash as seemingly as much as they do?
Well, it appears like they've hit that point. But,
Yeah.
Pettersson for me is a premier player. I just think he's got so much upside. And if surrounded with the right people and the right environment, I think he's a player you build around. He's at the right age. He's just entering what I would consider the primary years of his career if he doesn't get injured. And he would be a focal point on trying to figure out how to make this work for him.
Yeah. So then how do you deal with a guy with a no move clause?
Well, we had one of those. And
Yes.
and
And you made the trade.
we ultimately made a trade,
Yeah.
but it did come with a lot of drama and a lot of difficulties. The there are ways to deal with it. We weren't prepared to go as far as nuclear to deal with it because we had so much respect for Roberto, and we weren't going to do that. But there are ways, and I guess they'll have that choice.
Did you guys go out and get trades in place for him and then go to him and present the trades, or did you go to Roberto first and say, where would you be willing to move, and then go out and try
People wonder
to make
about that process. Yes.
the deals with
Well, there were a number of different scenarios that happened over time, so both of those things were done.
wow.
So, it wasn't.
So
There was one particular trade that we could have made to a location where Roberto simply refused to go, and
was that Toronto?
I'm not going to say.
Oh gosh, all these
You
years
can
later.
ask him.
Okay.
Ask him.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, it was his decision. not
Fair
mine.
enough. Fair enough.
He didn't want to go there, and we respected that. It got turned into a bunch of nonsense by the team that was on the other side of it, and that created more problems and dilemma that everyone could have done without.
Yeah.
But anyway, he ultimately got traded to the location he wanted to go to for personal reasons. It worked out well for him. I'm very pleased for him that he got a chance to win a cup. Roberto was nothing but a great teammate and a great employee, I guess, for me, or player for me. And I won't say a negative thing about him. Like he had his reasons. He was a great player for the Vancouver Canucks, and that's undeniable.
JT Miller wouldn't get the same report card, I wouldn't think, from everybody. Some people, I'm sure he would get the same report card, but it wouldn't be unanimous. So when you consider that, and the fact that you, I think as an agent, were very sensitive to, hey, this guy's got a no move. He earned that. Have to respect that. So it's a very sensitive issue to work around that. Does that become an issue here for the Canucks too, of wanting to protect franchise integrity by asking a guy with a no move?
Well, there are certain circumstances that transcend that.
Right.
Like, I mean, you get to a certain point where your team becomes dysfunctional, and
It's untenable.
you're penalizing everybody.
Yeah.
So that takes on a whole new element of consideration. And, we were never at that point with Roberto.
Right.
Roberto was a functioning member, a great teammate. He wasn't a problem. He wasn't making himself a problem ever. And so we didn't have that circumstance. I think once it reaches a point, anything that reaches a point where it's so detrimental to team performance and team integrity, you got to do things differently.
Yeah.
You got to figure it out.
And of course, it wound up being a very good trade for the Vancouver Canucks. Jacob Markstrom came in here and played exceptionally well, and went on to Calgary and now New Jersey, and realized all his potential as the best young goaltender in the world.
Yeah.
As he
Well, one
was at
thing
one
about
point.
him, I got to tell you, is when we were doing that, no one had really that level of comfort or that level of confidence that Jacob would become that player, except Rolly Melanson.
Yeah.
And Rolly Melanson was adamant that this guy is a player, put him in the right environment, give him the right technique, he'll be a star. And when you have that level of confidence from a guy that you have a lot of confidence in his opinion, it makes it a lot easier to do those things.
Yeah.
Light Engine in our chat is saying, make sure you tell him we all say hi to him, please.
Yeah.
So our viewers are saying hi back to you.
Oh,
Mike,
wow.
So thanks for stopping by.
Well, I didn't mean to interrupt you guys. I mean, you're so incredibly important in this marketplace that, I'm
dripping with sarcasm.
really? Oh, no. Not
He
me.
banged on the window here at the lower lobby level of the Wall Center. And so,
I didn't even know you guys were in here.
Oh,
It was
really?
great. Yeah.
Thanks for listening.
Well,
I see beard. You've gone back to beard here.
Well, it gives me a minute to get away from the Canucks lunacy, when you're in Whole Foods and someone.
okay.
I have about a minute where there's this question.
There's a
Double clutch. Yeah.
Is that him? Is that really him? I can't really tell. Nah, he doesn't have a beard.
Yeah.
It's not a solidarity beard. though.
Anyway, it's no, it's not that.
Okay. Good to see you again.
Good
Thanks
to
for
see you
making
guys.
time.
Thanks for having.
Stop by anytime you're here at the Wall Center. That's Mike Gillis, former president.
Make Gilman answer a few more difficult.
Okay. We have to ask Gilman more difficult questions. See, he does watch. He does.
He knows Gilman's on this show.
Gilman will be back next Wednesday, as a matter of fact. So, Blake's going to talk to Mike for a second. That's former president, general manager of the Vancouver Canucks, Michael D. Gillis.